Since the official Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons sell for a whopping $69 and can develop drift issues, people are always looking for cheaper and more reliable alternatives. Amazon is awash of alternatives, and today we're going to look at one of them. This is simply known as the Joypad controller, one of the top sellers on Amazon, having over 5,000 reviews and selling for a more reasonable $44. But is it worth $44? Today I'm going to test the crap out of it and let you know. Let's get this out of the way first. I bought these Joy-Cons with my own money. I don't have any kind of partnership with the company that makes them. So with that out of the way, let's take a closer look at these. Even though they're called Joypad in the Amazon listing, the box calls them Gamepad. They apparently want to keep the naming as generic as possible, probably to avoid lawsuits from Nintendo. There's no mention of the word Joy-Con anywhere. In fact, there's no company name anywhere in the box, except maybe this JCK in the corner, which could be the company name. I think they're really covering their tracks. Aesthetically, they can almost be mistaken for the real Joy-Cons, but they are a little bit lighter. I ordered the pastel blue and green, which matches up with the official Animal Crossing Joy-Cons, but the Amazon listing has other colors as well. The buttons are a tiny bit mushier, and the stick itself has a slightly smaller range of motion. Still, my first impressions were not as bad as I was expecting. I've reviewed many knockoff controllers on this channel, and I've seen quite a few that I just know are going to be terrible right out of the box, but I don't get that feeling with this one. I was able to get them mechanically connected to the Switch just fine. No wrist strap was included, but they do fit into those just fine as well. They also connected wirelessly with the Switch just fine. Note, if you're looking to use your amiibos with these, you're out of luck, because there's no NFC sensor. Now for the heart of the review. How do they respond while actually playing? I played many hours of Metroid with them, swapping them out with the authentic Joy-Cons from time to time, just so I can discern the differences. In my mind, this is the best way to test. Once again, my first impressions were better than expected. I was able to perform whatever actions were needed for the game, defeating hard bosses and performing complex moves. I also tested them in Katamari, and I was able to roll through many of the stages in that game with no issues. These controllers come with this odd-looking thin connector piece, and I had no issue using it. One of the first disappointments I had was with the rumble. It does have it, but it's just not as dynamic. It feels like it's just one speed. There's something unsettling about the vibration noise it was making too. Perhaps I've been spoiled by the advanced rumbling capability of the real Joy-Cons. I eventually just turned the rumble off in the games I was using it on. I'm not a big rumble fan anyway, so it doesn't matter. For much of my early play sessions, I was happy with these controllers, but then I started noticing some concerning things. Sometimes I would start to move in Metroid from a stopped position, and for a fraction of a second, she would move in the opposite way which I was pressing. I'm faking it here because I wasn't recording the times it actually happened, but I will say it happened about 15 times during my playthrough. It could have been a glitch with the game itself. To know for sure, I tried testing it with the built-in tester that's installed within the Switch, and that didn't really show me much. So instead I connected the controller to a PC and went to the Gamepad tester website. If you want to know more about how to use the site to detect things wrong with your controller, you can see my video that I made on it. I'll put a link to that video in the description. But basically the site allows you to press the buttons on your controller and it shows you whether or not they are wonky or if they're working accurately. And I think I was able to do it. If you watch right here, I'm pushing to the right, but for a split second, it flings in the opposite direction. I think this is what the issue was in Metroid. In fact, I'm 95% sure. Also while playing, I started to notice that sometimes I would press one of the 4 main buttons and they just would not work. And over time it got worse. This time I'm not faking it. Sometimes when I press B or A, it just doesn't register. It could be because I'm pressing it kind of lightly, but this is a major problem for playing video games if you're pressing a button and nothing happens. I had many other things to say about these controllers, including other ways of analyzing them. Many of them were positive, but since it has 2 major issues, which I feel I've confirmed for you, This will likely result in your character getting killed, and I'm just going to cut this review short and conclude that no one should buy these controllers. You're better off just paying for the higher cost official Nintendo Joy-Cons. If you do have real Joy-Cons that are drifting and you're thinking about buying a replacement, just hold off and try to fix them using my video, 12 Ways to Fix Joy-Con Drift. I'm Kevin with Gaming the Systems. Thank you for watching my video, and take care.